Mandden. And, Charles, you look at this Raven team as they get ready here. It's an early test here after 2 losses to start the season, and a game they probably really need.
Obviously, no way do they want to get to 0-3. Not many teams make the playoffs with that kind of a start.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Jets, they too were losers last week, so they're also hoping to get back in the win column.
Something's got to give in this one, right? Both teams want to start a new streak, and they both want it to be a victory. This should be a fun one.
As of this morning, summer officially over. It's time for autumn football, and we're underway on EA Sports. And no run back here, so they'll bring it out to the 25. Here comes the Ravens on offense, and the man in charge from Louisville, the former MVP, Lamar Jackson.
And I saw that he had an interesting quote in the research packet that we had after last week's game. It's all on me now. I've got to lead my team and find a way for us to win a game. 0-2, but they're at home. I guess he's going to try and find a way to get the home crowd involved early.
They'll start with a run by Mitchell. Oh, an absolutely filthy juke. He's got some space now. And, boy, the strength on display there as he rumbles through tacklers for a gain of about 8. But you often say that sort of opens the playbook now, second and short. What do you think, early shot here?
I like where you're going. Obviously, we've been together for a while because you know me. I want to take that shot early and loosen things up.
Right back to Mitchell on second down. Now he's free at the 35, and he will finally be taken down at the Jets' 21-yard line. 53 yards rushing for him as he's got the afternoon off to a great start. They had trouble stopping the run last week in the loss, and here it rears its ugly head early.
You're supposed to try and get your confidence going after a loss like that where you gave up big yards running the football. This is not the way to go about it. It looks exactly as it did just a week ago.
So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. An option give now to Mitchell. Give him maybe a yard, quite the opposite from the previous big gainer.
That was a really nice play, be able to stack that one up. When they get back in the huddle, he's got to tell his guys up front, great job. They kept people off of him, allowed him to run free and make the hit on the runner.
Filled the gap nicely, kept him to just a 1-yard gain. And he'll take it down here just shy of a 15 at the 16-yard line. He'll end up getting 5 out of that, but now they're looking at 3rd down. Well, you know, paramount for this defense is trying to keep Lamar Jackson somewhat contained when he tries to run. They did a pretty good job of it there.
And you know what's so difficult for every defense that has to prepare for Lamar Jackson? You have to think and play at the same time. And I know that sounds like something you're supposed to do, but when you have to think about your assignments against him, it often slows down your feet. You don't move as fast. You've got to be prepared for this guy every step of the way and then try and match his athleticism.
So Jackson will head to the Ravens sideline, and on comes Justin Tucker for the field goal try. A 33-yarder from the left hash. Tucker's kick is good, and the Ravens strike first at 3's in. Had just the one big play on the drive, but that was enough to put him in field goal range.
Yeah, one big play of what they hope will be many others throughout the game. Every team has a different target for the number of plays like that, those explosives that we talk about. That allowed him to put points on the board on that drive. Let's see how the rest of the game goes.
And here comes a return from a few steps into the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. So now here comes the Jet offense as they get ready to take over. And a glance here at their quarterback, standing 6'3".
Would you say that last week's performance by him, workmanlike in terms of numbers?
1 touchdown, 1 pick, but obviously a loss.
Yeah, and that's the bottom line for him. All he cares about is how do we find a way to win the game. Maybe leans on a few other parts of the offense, and hopefully springs a receiver or 2 free.
And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. This drive starting off on the right foot, 18 yards. If you're these receivers, you got to be ready, because when he's going to throw it quick on that RPO, he's going to throw it quick.
And this is why you spend time with your guy, either in the offseason, during the week, the whole bun.
No, bottled up, fumble. It's out, it's loose, and it's picked up by touchdown. Huge play by the defense, not only to force the fumble, obviously, but to return it for a touchdown.
And I know it's no fun for anyone who plays offense, but isn't it fun to see how a defense rallies when there's a fumble return and everyone tries to find someone to block and bring it all the way home?
I always like their celebrations because they don't get there that often.
No, they're not choreographed very well usually.
Justin Tucker for the extra point. He's got it, and now it's a 10-0 lead here in the opening quarter. So not only the cough up, but then the pickup on the other side, the scoop, and the score the other way. The fumble return for a touchdown. So an early 10-0 lead for them now as they kick it away. And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And he'll be out of bounds across the 25. Back on the field come the New York Jets for their second drive. They'll look to get something started. They need to, down 10-0 early as they've got it 1st and 10. Throwing to start the drive. Reed to the right side into the hands of Flowers. The numbers for him from a week ago. 4 catches, 82 yards, and a touchdown.
And I'd certainly expect them to use him quite a bit because he runs excellent routes, has good hands, and knows how to get open.
And they'll employ the jumbo set now on 2nd and 1. The first carry now for Dalvin Cook. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. 2 yards on the pickup, and that's all they needed to move the sticks.
First down, New York.
They run the counter with Cook. And he is going to lose yardage here. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
Part of their struggles last week was getting these negative plays on 1st and 2nd down. That's something they have to be wary of as this game continues.
After the loss, they'll come up 2nd and 13. Throw right side going to be caught by Hardman. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. First time these two have hooked up this afternoon, and it's a 1st down.
You can almost hear the sigh of relief coming from their sideline and from their point on the field because this has been a tough start for them thus far. A much-needed 1st down there. They needed something good to happen. Plays like that will continue to help them dig out of this hole.
So in Raven territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 47. Off play action. Reed under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Trenton Simpson, well, he just flew in there to drop him. But defensively on the previous play, they gave up a pretty good chunk of yardage, but right there they got a good portion of it right back.
And if we just flip it around from the offensive perspective, took a nice step forward. And how about a couple of leaps backwards after that play? They've got to figure out a big call coming up here to try and gain that yardage back.
Now, meanwhile, here's a 2nd down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. Seventh play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down. Looking to throw. Reed. Oh, he rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Kyle Hamilton picks it, and the Ravens are going to have the short field here as they'll take over right at the 50. 3rd and long that time. He was trying to make something happen, but a little too risky.
Well, the field tilted on him, and what I mean by that is what you said, 3rd and long. Got to push it downfield to try and pick up the 1st down. Defensive backs live for this situation, and they took advantage of the young man right there.
Baltimore set to take over here for their 2nd possession of the game. They'll have good field position at midfield following the turnover as they start with a 1st down here. Baltimore with good starting field position as they come up 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line. 1st down, here's Mitchell. Oh, able to avoid him. Gets by him, and now a little daylight. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Ravens are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Tucker with the extra point, and that makes our score 17-0. I'm not sure if they drew that play up to score, but it scored indeed. One play on the ground and into the end zone for 6.
So an early advantage now, and a good one. 17-0 our scores. They kick this one away. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21.
The New York set to take the field. And job one here, Charles, just keep possession of the football. 2 drives, 2 turnovers to this point.
You're exactly right, Doctor. Hippocratic oath. First, do no harm. And right now, they're harming themselves on offense.
I like that. No one is mistaking me for a doctor, though. But thank you, Dr. Davis. And he goes down. The Ravens able to get to him.
Dafe Owe showing off the pass rush skills. This first quarter, let's just be frank, it's been a disaster so far offensively.
Yeah, already down multiple scores, and it doesn't appear they can get out of their own way right now.
Now Reed looking to throw on second down.
That one into the hands of Flowers.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion and would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and he passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Well, based on what we've seen so far, I don't think you can even call this an off day anymore, partner, because this group we're watching, they are totally out of rhythm, trying to get their game plan up and running. That 0 on the scoreboard is glaring down at them with every incompletion.
They juked him. They call that a punt of 38 yards officially, and the Ravens, they'll take over. So here are the Ravens to take over on offense. They lost 2 straight coming in, but good news for them right now. They've got the lead and the football. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 44. They'll try and start this drive in the air. To the right side, it's caught by Mitchell. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. Successful start to the drive, 17 yards, and moves the sticks.
So many times in my career, I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. But as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Now it's Jackson. Can't get away, and he's taken down.
John Franklin Myers, the one in there to drop him. I think this defense, Charles, realizing the deficit they're facing, they're going to have to step up and make more plays like we just saw there.
Yeah, and those are the type of plays that can focus a defense because, as we know, they've had their trouble so far in this one. But they just proved to themselves that they can get to him, and I expect them to continue to bring that type of pressure in order to try and turn around their fortunes.
You talk about this Jets defense.
This unit currently 7th in the NFL, Charles, in stopping the run.
They've established themselves as a top 10 run-stopping unit in the NFL here in the early going. All signs point to me towards them continuing that throughout the season. They look pretty good, pretty darn cohesive to me.
And they'll get him down at about the 37, well short of the first. 5 yards, not enough, and it'll be 4th down. 17-0 our score after 1.
That's the end of the first quarter. With the score, Ravens 7.
Second quarter now from Baltimore. It's the Ravens in possession as they've got it with a 4th down coming up. So now they're going to send out the field goal unit to, as they say, fire away from long distance. Tucker's kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further.
So this lead, Charles, just continuing to swell here in the first half.
That's interesting. When we talked to them prior to the game, they told us that their game plan was take no prisoners, and they've lived up to it so far because everything has worked. No guarantee that'll continue, but all in all, This coaching staff's got to be very pleased by what they've seen.
And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. New York set to take the field. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're
you don't
down.
Want to.
No, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
First down, Jets.
A quick throw out to Hardman on the perimeter. The result, only 4 yards there on the play. And that'll bring up second down.
It's now 2nd and 6 at the 43-yard line.
Off the play fake. Reed. That's caught. It's Flowers. And all the way in. Touchdown, New York. A great play there. His second touchdown on the season. And the Jets are able to cut into that deficit. Well, Charles, kind of the future of this franchise on display right there. You had a rookie throwing it, a rookie catching it, and taking it into the end zone.
Could you imagine if we were in the owner's box right now and we could look at the front office and see the grins on their faces, to see the present making plays and knowing what the future will bring with these youngsters going out and making big-time moments happen for this team.
The extra point splits the uprights, and that cuts this lead down to 13. The Jets kick team out now to boot this one away. From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. He's already cruised past the 100-yard mark. We haven't even gone away for halftime yet.
He might not want halftime. All right, why cool off?
Keep everybody here.
Let's stay out on the field and keep going. But all that being said, everything is really working well for them. The play calling's been excellent. The blocking's been terrific. And obviously his vision and legs have hurtled him to this big number so far. We could be seeing something really special here.
And we'll see how much they give him the ball here.
Simple drag route here, lined up out left and tried to work his way back across the field. You probably saw me twitch there, partner, because I think he wanted the ball a little bit sooner. By the time he looked it in, defender was right on him.
And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. A solid gain of 7 yards that time on the keeper and a first down.
And this is one of those plays that if you can use it to keep the chains moving, it's a good play. And not only that, it tends to tamp down the pass rushers because they have to recognize this play and stay at home. The quarterback uses it well. Read option, keeps it, and picks up a first down with some nice running.
The throw over the middle, taken in. He's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. The extra effort after the catch makes it good for a gain of 26 and also a first down.
But one of the ways the quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field. And here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
So in Jet territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 34. Here's Jackson. Throwing left sideline there, but it's incomplete.
Well, a momentary speed bump there with that throwing partner. The defense had other ideas, and they're trying to mount a small stand before this drive reaches the end zone.
Now a 2nd and 10. Here's Jackson to throw. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Flowers. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1. So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down.
13. Hey.
They'll try and pick it up with Mitchell. And he will have the first down at about the 21-yard line. Give him the third down conversion, 5 yards on the play.
We both know it's difficult, but they've made it look effortless out there. Through the air, on the ground, they've moved the ball with relative ease.
On first down, they go back to Mitchell. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. 128 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here this first down.
I'm not sure how much more evidence they need, partner, than to understand that if they don't start to slow him down, it's going to be a long afternoon here at the stadium because he is just shredding them at this point. And let's face it, coming into the game, they knew he would be the focal point of their...
And he will take it in for a Ravens touchdown. A great effort there. With 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game. And the Ravens are able to stretch out their lead. Some good running there at the end of the drive. He had the burst that set up the first and goal, and then 1 play later, he's in the end zone.
Brandon, what I liked about that sequence is I'm not sure who made the play call, but they understood the situation, understood the momentum. A nice hard-charging run, give it right back to him, and let him cap things off.
Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and that pushes the lead up to an even 20. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22. The offense for the Jets ready to take over. A strong showing their last time out. They scored the touchdown, but Charles, they look up and they're still down double digits, so you feel like just to keep pace, this drive probably needs to end in the end zone as well.
Yeah, and I think the best move for them is to not worry about how far they are down on the scoreboard, but to just remember the last drive and how it ended. Go ahead and try and repeat that. Then you can look at the scoreboard and see where this game is.
In on the stop, the former Georgia Bulldog, Roquan Smith.
Absolutely love the effort there. The ability to flow from his inside spot and stop that one at the line of scrimmage. Nice linebacker play.
To throw is Reed. Off play action. Now a quick throw there, but it's going to be incomplete.
Now with a rookie quarterback out there, you're definitely going to find out how he handles adversity because this one so far hasn't gone according to plan. He's got to fight through it and show him what he's made of.
Reed now on third down. Oh, he had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete. Here's Thomas Morstead on now to punt it away on fourth down. Taking it about the 36. It'll be a net of only 30 here. 40-yard punt, 10 on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. He's been good. His guys are winning. So far, the recipe working here in the second quarter.
He doesn't like to just tote the rock. He wants to carry his team on his back, and that's what he's done throughout this game.
Yeah, he's done that. He'll be hoping to continue that trend. On first and 10, it's Jackson. A short throw caught by Andrews. And a gain of 4 gets him right to the midfield stripe.
It's vitally important to wrap him up immediately because if you let that big guy get a head of steam up, boy, then you got real trouble trying to get him down.
But they're able to hold him to a short gain on first down. From midfield now, here's Jackson. That's Duvernay. And he is brought down, but not before reaching the 30. First target, first catch, and a first down. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing, playing against a good quarterback like he is, to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
He finds some way to turn this into positive yardage as he struggles forward for a pickup of about 2.
They suspected it was a power play up the middle coming at them, and boy, were they right. That defense got downhill in a hurry and limited them to just a couple on first down.
Jackson. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he's going to have a first down on a gain of about 10, and that'll take us to the 2-minute warning. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10.
13. Hey, middle. You at X.
Throwing is Jackson. Wide open receiver complete. And the Ravens are going to be looking at 1st and goal as they move this down to the 4-yard line.
Just picking up yardage in bunches here these last few plays. They have moved right down the field, and just like that, they're going to be set up with a 1st and goal.
A chance to really cap off a big first half here as they come up on 1st and goal. Jackson from the shotgun steps away to his left. And they're going to get to him. A sack. Sack back at the 9-yard line. The former 3rd overall pick, Quinnen Williams, there to bring him down. 1st and goal looked like things were set up nicely, and now all of a sudden on 2nd and goal, Charles, a big challenge ahead of them.
And you have to know when you're this close to the goal line, things are going to happen faster, so you've got to get the ball out quick. Not going to have much time in the pocket before the defenders bring pressure.
On 2nd down, here's Mitchell. And he gets halfway home from the 10 to the 5 on a pickup of 5. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as the clock stops here with 46 seconds remaining in the first half. A chance to really put this game out of reach. Here's 3rd and goal.
Hey, Alpha, say hi.
Jackson now. Being chased out left. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. Only able to get back a yard for his efforts, and that leads us to 4th down.
They made a nice effort to stick him with a loss for that play, but it's going to take more than that to keep him from advancing the ball. Should be an entertaining battle anytime he tucks and runs over the second half of this contest.
The Jets are going to use the first of their timeouts. So as they talk it over, we step aside. So Jackson will head to the Ravens sideline, and on comes Justin Tucker for the field goal try. From the left hash, he'll have to cut this at a tight angle. And he'll try and throw here on the fake. And all the gamble fails. It's incomplete. They pass up the 3, fake it. It doesn't work. And the Jets are going to get the football back. From deep in their own territory, they look to throw. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
One thing you hope to see out of a rookie tight end is a real concentration when the ball's in the air, and I'm not sure that he didn't, but he has to be prepared for people making a play on it when that ball's up for grabs.
And he's got his man in stride, complete. Now the Jets going to use the 2nd of their 3 timeouts, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half. 3rd and 2. Completes it to Hardman. He's got this almost to the 40 before going out. A big 3rd down conversion with a gain of 28.
Well, these guys have definitely been outplayed in the first half. I like their countenance. I like the way that they haven't panicked out there, the way they're carrying themselves. They're starting to move the ball, and what you have to do, maintain your poise and starting to put together some drives.
Now here's a pass on 1st down that's knocked away and incomplete.
As a corner, you have to be able to run with guys step for step downfield of man coverage and make up ground quickly in zone. You have to put yourself in position to make plays just like that one we saw there.
And now this throw incomplete, and that is how his first half will come to an end. So we're at halftime here in the Inner Harbor with the hometown Ravens on top. As we'll send you down to Orlando and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks. And welcome in everybody to our EA Sports Halftime Report. Time for a look around the NFL here in Week 3 of the new year. We'll start up at Highmark Stadium, just outside of Buffalo. And it's the Browns who are out on top. Cedric Tillman, a touchdown reception. From there, let's head to Philly to see what's happening with the Eagles. And they've gone to the half with the lead over the visiting Cowboys. A.J. Brown, a touchdown catch from Jalen Hurts. Lastly, let's check on one final game for you. And in that one, it's the visiting Dolphins who are out in front. Trey Lance with a couple of touchdown passes. Both teams going back through their game plans, making their final halftime adjustments. And for the call of the second half, we go back up to Baltimore and rejoin Brandon and Charles.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Jets going to get the football first, and they trail as well as we get back underway in this second half. This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And the decision to bring it out, not a good one, as he's tackled at the 15. Now the Jets going to take over on offense to begin this third quarter. And you have to think, Charles, down 3 scores already. They need to play an almost perfect second half to have a solid chance.
And that absolutely starts with finding some way to put together a touchdown drive here. They need to be smart, fast, efficient, get the ball to the end zone, and do it again multiple times in order to have a chance to win this game.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
And he'll be taken down right around the 34 after a pickup of only a yard.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there holding the point of attack and not giving ground. You get the sense that they're saying we're not playing up to what we're capable of, and we're deep enough into the game that the early jitters are long gone, that they should now have some sense of continuity and be able to make some of these plays that they have not been doing so far.
And now the third down throw incomplete as well.
Well, if they have any designs of getting back into this football game in the second half, they're going to need to be much sharper offensively than they were on this opening possession. Not much happening here, and it'll lead to a 4th down.
Here's Morstead now as he sends this one away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken just outside the 20-yard line. A 40-yard punt, no return, and they will take over 1st and 10. The Ravens offense getting ready now for their first possession of the second half. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 22.
Yeah.
Here's Mitchell now to kick off the drive. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. 147 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
Hey, middle.
Right back to Mitchell on 2nd down. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down.
And he continues to pile up the yardage. That puts him over $150 now. And this defense has really had its problems trying to keep him contained.
Right back to Mitchell here. Well, he's going to be out of bounds yards, but not before he takes it inside the 40. 23 yards on the pickup there and a first. They had a chance to limit his yardage, but he was able to fight off that tackle.
So it's not just the responsibility of the guys who missed the tackles along the way. It's all 11 on defense, able to stop this guy, unable to do it on that play. They've got to find a way. How about his ability to break through and gain that yardage?
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material. And now Jackson will look to throw it. Open man is Duvernay. And he gets this down inside the 35 before going out of bounds. Give him a gain of 5 on the completion, and it'll be second down. Up the middle, here's Mitchell. And a short gain down to about the 33. 5 yards on first down, but now just a 1-yard pickup there on second. But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. Well, they were in search of a short gain on third down, and they wind up nabbing over 20 yards.
A lot of deflated looks on that defense. It seems like they just cannot find a way to get a key stop on third down. Here's another conversion, and now this offense, they're in a position to go up even further as they've got it 1st and goal.
13. Hey, middle.
They'll run with Mitchell. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. A great play there. His 3rd rushing touchdown on the year. And the Ravens are able to widen their advantage.
Sometimes you get a 1st and goal and you're back near the 7, 8, 9-yard line, and you start thinking, maybe we're running here on 1st down to get half of what we need, so maybe we can have 2 or 3 shots at going for it from closer range. So this is a bonus right here. What a great run to work his way into the end zone.
Tucker with the extra point, and that stretches the lead all the way up to 27. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. Another drive coming up for New York's offense. Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD, and if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think about getting out of here, maybe beating the traffic in order to get home or to their final destination?
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of reason to hang around, especially if they can't score here.
Yeah, you're right about that, because it has been pretty clear who the better team has been in this one. And in a league that we talk about every game being a one-score game as we go into it, watching this blowout, let's just say it's been unusual.
Adafe Owe there on the tackle. Line of scrimmage, the 24. This is 2nd and 6. Here's Cook again. And he'll get 2, maybe 3 up near the 37.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature and make sure you don't get hurt.
And he is going to have a Jets 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Well, part of their struggles in the first half was their inability to convert consistently on 3rd down. But how about this well-designed play? Gave himself plenty of options and able to get the hook up and keep the drive going.
Catch is made by Hardman. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. It's another 1st down as they look his way again, this time 19 yards.
It's taken a while for this offense to get going. A little creaky at the start, but they're oiled up now. A nice throw there, and they're really putting together a good drive.
So in Raven territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 right at the 40. Back to throw. Reed. And his throw is incomplete.
Just what they need, a lecture from me, but subpar offense is what helped get them into this spot. And now they're continuing the trend with incompletions. That won't get them out of it if they don't change something soon.
2nd and 10.
Again, he'll drop to throw. And his throw here is incomplete.
At this point in the game, in the situation they're in, partner, these incompletions that we're seeing, they need to turn into positive snaps, and soon.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. They'll look to throw again.
Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he's going to be taken down with the 1st down at the Ravens 19. 21 yards there on 3rd down. Well, the margin on that scoreboard, obviously, for them, it looks daunting. But I don't know, Charles. They're probably not focused on that right now. Maybe just chaining together a positive drive with plays like we just saw, giving themselves something to build on.
Yeah, I think you're right about that. And what they have to be careful of is getting glued to that scoreboard, trying to do too much. Because if you do that, you're all but guaranteed to start making mistakes. Just focus on one play at a time and make each one successful.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Another attempt, another incompletion. And when I look at the scoreboard and where we are in this game, it comes to mind that they have to start getting the ball in the hands of their playmakers. Throw it to the guys that maybe can take a short pass and turn it into a long gain or make people miss downfield. They've got to have points. And the guys who can put the ball in the end zone, they're the ones that need to touch the ball.
Now a 2nd down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete.
They haven't been able to stop them so far this series, but getting a nice little stand from their defense now.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. Off play action. Reed. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. So 2 3rd down conversions on this drive, but not able to get a 3rd, and now they deal with 4th down.
Zone coverage there, and they were playing deep. That makes it obviously a little bit harder to run by guys. And that time, there was not much of a window to get the ball in there, and it winds up incomplete.
And his kick is good. And that will cut the lead down to 3 scores at 24. I'm kind of surprised by that they kicked the field goal. I guess you get some points, but this deficit 3rd quarter, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't either. Yeah, I'm with you on that one. When you're down that much, kicking a field goal, does it feel a little bit maybe waving the white flag and just want to get out of here? Yeah, I think you got to go ahead and try and get some bigger points on the board.
And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. He's closing in on 200 yards on the ground with the 4th quarter still to come. We're in the 3rd. Good shot to get there.
And now he's got to make sure he convinces his coaching staff to leave him out there and keep touching the ball, because when you've had that kind of a day, there is a tendency to think about getting him out and saving some of it. Running backs never like to save yardage.
You know he's tapping his quarterback on the shoulder. Take the ball again, please, right?
Not turning down any carries.
A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick 1st down.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not, because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the 3rd quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
He fights forward for a modest 2-yard gain, 2nd down.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground, but I think the play gets made by the defensive front, because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
3 quarters have come and gone. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now here on EA Sports. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4.
From the 38 now, here comes 2nd and 8.
Now a first carry for their fullback. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 45.
This is where, fourth quarter, you got the lead, you give it to the big guy. Defensively kind of sucks the will out of them, doesn't it? Because they don't want to tackle him right now this late in the game.
You say that with accusatory tones. I mean, but you're exactly right. I know it's not something we actually want to talk about, but as a defender, 4 quarters worth of trying to bring people down, 4 quarters worth of pounding, and now late in the game, here comes that big guy coming at you, and a lot of guys are wondering whether they want to come up and make that tackle at this stage of the game. No surprise they decided to throw on 3rd down. A little bit of a surprise that they completed the pass and lost yardage on the play.
The Ravens send their punter out now. Always a good sign when your first punt comes in the 4th quarter. They punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. And that one hits at the 7, but bounds into the end zone, and that'll be a touchback. And New York set to take the field.
Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
Yeah, this will leave them a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down.
Now that's a run that warms a play caller's heart because you're actually set up to do whatever you want on offense. You can come right back and run essentially the same play because you have momentum, or you can fake that running play and throw something deep over the top, or you now feel like you have an extra down to play with because if you go ahead and just throw it and you don't get it, come back and try and pick it up on 3rd down.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. 1st down, here's the run with Cook.
He'll get this to about the 38.
Sometimes you're aligned perfectly and the play comes to you, and sometimes you got to cover some ground to go make the plays we just saw there.
We saw a great example of perseverance right there on that play.
Got to be careful. They might want to throw one over his head as this game progresses.
On 2nd down, Cook. And he'll be out of bounds up near the 45 at the 44.
75 yards rushing for him now to this point.
Not a ton of room available on that one, but he made use of what space was available and gained decent yardage.
This pass going to be caught by Hardman. And he'll be taken down, but he does have 1st down yardage.
Face mask. Defense.
So it was already a gain on the completion, but tack on some more with that penalty.
Absolutely, and no matter what angle you're making the tackle from, you can't grab the face mask, and that's just putting your defense on its heels just a little bit more.
And now it's 1st and 10, a big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
And they're at the point of the ball game now where they've got to take some chances. They've got to put the ball in the air and just see what happens. But this defense knows that all too well.
Here's 2nd and 10.
Throwing again. Reed.
And that nearly intercepted. It's incomplete. Now, remember, he had a pick earlier, but couldn't reel that one in.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Let's just call it as we just saw it right there, a breakdown defensively. Seems like no one went with the tight end, and no one really did. Had all sorts of space in the middle of the field. Yeah, everyone else was covered, but he was not. Big play results.
Cook will score. Touchdown, New York.
Well, he's been the workhorse on this drive, and it would have been unfair to bring someone else in to finish the job. So they go back to him again, and he delivers with a touchdown run.
So the Jet offense staying on the field. They're going to go for 2. Cook, they'll try and run it. And he will find the end zone again. So he gets the touchdown and the 2-point conversion. And that'll cut this deficit down a little bit further. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And this will not be brought out. It's a touchback. The offense for the Ravens returns to the field. Well, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there.
Slant route's effective no matter who's running the route and catching the ball. But when you have a receiver of that stature, you have to be a little bit more precise throwing it. You don't have the same catch radius with the bigger targets.
Shut up! Shut up!
From the gun, Jackson. And his throw's going to be incomplete. How good has he been throwing the football, though? And despite that incompletion, that's just the 3rd time he's been off target this entire game.
And Brandon, I've been on the other side of this equation, trying to defend a guy who's been this hot, and it chips away at your confidence. And when you're not confident when you're trying to defend, it makes you slower to the football, and it leads to more completions for them.
On 3rd down, Jackson. That is caught. And he'll be taken down, but not before they reach the 50. A gain of 22. Still throwing the football here, even with the big lead.
Yeah, I know you and I came up in a different era. We think about sportsmanship and all that. Other people think about fantasy points and getting their numbers. That's all they care about right now.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route, the drag, and being able to run away from defenders. Hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone, and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
And that's going to be another 1st down as the tackle made at the Jets' 31-yard line. It's a 10-yard pickup, and that's enough to move the chains. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. They go play action with Jackson. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Quincy Williams worked his way back for that sack.
Pressure can come from all over when you're plotting a defensive strategy. On that particular play, it just came from the outside.
Clock continuing to run. They'll probably wind this all the way before snapping it on 2nd down.
Hey, report. Report.
Jackson going to keep it running right. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. They get 14 back, but it leads now to a 3rd down. And now, defensively, they're going to burn their first time out. Remember, they get an extra time built in coming up here shortly at the 2-minute warning. The 8th play of the drive coming up. It's 3rd and 3.
Report.
To throw is Jackson. He's got his target. That's complete. And he will have a Ravens first down by a couple of yards as they're able to get 4 there on 3rd and 2. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. And you'd have to figure they're just looking to burn these final 2 minutes away and get out of here with a victory.
13. Hey.
5 points of contact necessary at this stage as they'll run on first down. And he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18. The tackle by Quincy Williams. This, in all probability, another run here on 2nd and 8.
Report.
Jackson, options out left. And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. Lamar Jackson, an 18-yard touchdown run. And the Ravens look like they're about to put an end to their 2-game losing streak as they add on to their lead. Well, that was all Lamar Jackson all the time on that drive, both through the air and in the end with a touchdown run.
Yeah, how about him doing things a little bit on the reverse side there, Brandon, because he softened him up throwing the football and opened up the running lanes. And when he gets a little bit of a sliver, he's gone. And that's exactly what he did there.
Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and that pushes the lead up to 23. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. This is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line. And New York set to take the field. Well, this game, it has had no shortage of offense. They've been able to put up a decent amount of points on this side, Charles. They just have not been able to keep pace with the other offense they're going against here.
Yeah, that's a good way of pointing things out because now it's not a total loss because, as you said, they've scored some points, so there's some plays they can build on, moments where the game plan actually worked. But overall, though, they were just out-personnel. They were going up against a team that's playing at an elite level.
They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL, and he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time, so make sure you get in shape.
Now the Jets going to use the second of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with 40 seconds remaining in this fourth quarter. They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. Another tote for the workhorse this afternoon. It's Cook, and he'll be out right at the 35. It'll go as a gain of 11 and a Jets first down. Well, they gave themselves options there on the 3rd down play and were able to convert on that RPO.
Shows a lot of trust with the guy taking the snap, doesn't it? Because you're counting on him to make the right reads and give the ball where it's supposed to go. And he did on that play.
And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. The Jets going to go ahead and use their final timeout. That'll be their 3rd and final stoppage here as we step aside. Two first downs have them up near midfield now on 1st and 10. Off the play fake. Reed. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
Even with such a big lead late, the effort hasn't lapsed one bit. If the offense wants to score some points in this one, they're going to have to earn it. These guys are not giving up anything.
Reed off the play fake. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
That's coverage you'd expect to see in a tie game late. Not in a lopsided game like this. They are not letting up.
Here comes the 7th play now of this drive as this is 3rd and 10. Back to throw again. He's got his man. That's Hardman. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. And as this defense walks off the field, they can do so with their heads held high. What a performance. Well, by the offense, too. I mean, really, Charles, just complete domination on both sides of the football here in this one.
Certainly was, and I think both sides compete against each other all the time. You go to each other in practice, obviously your training camps, your off season. But on game day, you both want to show your best. And I think that's what we saw from both the offense and the defense, a complete team victory.
So for Baltimore, they're into the win column now as they move to 1-2 on the young season. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Detroit Lions. Meanwhile, for the Jets, they will fall to a similar mark at 1-2. And they'll try to get back on the beam next week as they'll head to Tampa to take on the Bucs. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA Sports.